Foolish Mortals. Hi everyone, you found what to play next. We're doing everything that is awesome in gaming. This is Foolish Mortals. It's a Kickstarter. It had a demo, so we wanted to kind of check it out. It looks like it's doing something a little different. We specialize in different. So we go out, we'll go through the indie community and find out who's developing the game. Because we stumbled onto it when gaming first started and never looked back. I loved, following along with how the game engine that Mr. Feast and Minecraft were using, and the same engine was being used by Bethesda Softworks at that time, and how they developed that. The different, I love mass balls. This is going to be an interesting one. I love Halloween themes because you can really just kind of get into how game mechanics connect with things like mythology, or whatever it is that they're using for story. For instance, Bethesda never wanted anything to connect with the real world. They had all their own holidays, even though they knew that it was going to be a reflection of who they were. So it was obviously going to have that sort of pattern to it. It's really hard to detach from that, and when a developer does that, you end up with this really interesting world that, rather than exploring into it, you'll actually find yourself immersed. So those are two completely different experiences. This one is obviously very art-focused, so we're looking a lot into the artistic aspects of it and how that's going to move the storyline. Animation led by Matthew Patrick Hathaway. It's some sort of, look into the spiritual world and the paranormal, and I love that sort of thing because it's, the eerie feeling kind of lends itself to gaming. So the holidays are a great time to explore, kind of see what's going on, talk about it with your friends, and, they're really starting to use social media the way that we used to use old forums back when everything was starting. So you can really get to know people and be a part of a movement, if you want to, in the same way that gaming groups get together and create this story, every week, that they build on and have a character.
They said there was a treasure on the island. Its location known only by the dead. I could see it in my dreams. How was I supposed to know that in order to find it, I'd have to die too?
So you have to become a ghost to get to something that's going on in your dreams. That is an interesting spin. That's not something you run into a whole lot. Wonder if he would be the person who would utter the title Foolish Mortals. Always interesting to see where that tagline came from.
Spirits and specters from regions unknown, guide to me the wanderer who searches alone.
What is up?
Well,
Voodoo King.
Welcome back, Murphy McCallan. Have you found all 5 ingredients for the spell?
Have I been here before?
I found 3 so far. Only 2 are left. The chalk and the coffin nails.
Hurry. The island will lead you to that which you seek. I have no doubt about that.
How will the spell help me find the lost treasure?
How will the spell help me find the lost treasure of Bellemore Manor?
There are things on this island that have gone unseen. Stories that have been left unheard. At least immortals. I commune with regions beyond. Let me introduce you to a friend. Out of the shadows, the cursed and the damned, return now my servant to do my command.
Goodness. Has some Monkey Island vibes. Looks a lot more deliberate.
Master. Loa, this gentleman wishes to find the lost treasure of Bellemore Manor.
That is not how you do that.
Tell him how this can be done.
Only inhabitants of the house know where the treasure lies. Their spirits still within its walls, trapped between life and death. To ask them, those spirits must be revealed on the mortal plane.
And
So does they have to die?
What our spell will do, Murphy. A summoning spell to unveil the ghost trapped within the house.
5 ingredients place inside, tie closed, and then unseal. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
Once you've collected all 5, we can summon the ghost of Bellemore Manor. Once we've summoned the ghosts, we can ask them exactly where the treasure was hidden. You have served me, Loa. Begone!
He's not long for this world. Just as a warning. He's not the best spirit guide.
Who is the creature that you talk to?
That is my Loa. The Loa are the mysteries, the invisibles, the messengers.
The Loa are the gods.
Is it a ghost?
As they were...
No. They are the intermediaries between humans and the supernatural.
As they were perceived by
Africans
as they converted through
the mortal plane
Catholicism.
And the spirit plane. Loas can move between them both, and with my powers, I can control them when they do.
So they're arrogant.
That's what we practitioners of the occult are adept at.
I mean, they've stumbled onto some interesting things. You know, obviously in Louisiana, New Orleans was renowned for its spiritual goings-on, so it came up with its own mythos. Do you know what happened at Bellemore Manor?
Do you know what happened at Bellemore Manor?
You want to hear a
Gold
ghost story,
names,
Murphy McCallan?
Mythos.
I want to know everything I can about that house.
Then listen closely. Dark magic runs throughout Bellemore Manor. The house was built by the Bellemore brothers, 3 merchants from England who made their fortune trading across the Caribbean. Xavier Bellemore, an explorer, Yardley Bellemore, an actor, and Cecil Bellemore, a scientist. Their parents dead for many years. They each loved and cared for their young sister, Abigail. Abigail met a young sailor who worked aboard one of her brother's ships. And in less than a year, he proposed. The engagement was a scandal. Despite having the pick of any eligible bachelor in high society, her hand and the Bellemore fortune was to go to a commoner. Because of their unconditional love for their young sister, the Bellemore brothers sanctioned the marriage. But people began to wonder if Abigail was being locked into marriage, whether by blackmail or black magic. Grand wedding was planned by the 3 proud brothers, but in the months leading up to the wedding, each of the brothers, one by one, was lost, presumed dead. And yet the wedding was still to go ahead. And with Abigail set to inherit the Bellemore fortune once she came of age, many people began to wonder whether the sailor was not a perpetrator, but a pawn. On the morning of the wedding, the sailor was summoned to her chambers. "I don't love you," Abigail declared. "I never loved you." And to everyone gathered in the house, Abigail declared that that same evening, she would marry another, John Rackham, first officer of the Bellemore Trading Company, would be her new groom. Except that didn't happen. On the night of the wedding, everyone in the house suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Perhaps the last revenge of the scorned sailor. The house that night held a heart that would be broken, a victim who would be tricked, and a force that would unleash evil. But no one knows exactly who each was. If you want to find the treasure, Murphy, you'll have to find out.
So we have one lie. That's the backdrop for the story.
I'm going to finish finding the voodoo ingredients.
Hurry back.
So you can help kickstart it. If you just feel it'll succeed, obviously it'll come out on Steam or something like that. You can purchase that. In general, you can pre-purchase. So if you're excited about the game, if you love this sort of voodoo mystery, it's one of the reasons we loved Monkey Island was for its silly voodoo stuff that was going on. We ran into it again in Darkham, in Transylvania, with Gibbous, which explored Cthulhu. But that sort of thing is always engaging. So we have a riverboat here.
I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked.
A lot of the really old...
I took the taxidermied fish from the rotting wooden frame.
The old family name feel. From that era, you know, that was when they were big, when everybody talked about them. Spirit Queen. Oh, we can go
Walking into the port town of Dead Nettle, I could sense its history in every stone, brick, and plank. Echoes of merchant ships loading and unloading all manner of cargo from expeditions throughout the Caribbean. Gold and treasure that may still lie hidden on the island.
Puppet theater. Antebellum era.
The sign read, "The Fantastic Fantaccio Brothers will be performing tonight. People of all ages welcome. Donations welcome even more so."
That's nice. The passageway. We can explore other locations on the island. Having him as a narrator is really interesting. The fact that he dies kind of lets him spool out into the third person and guide you around the island. So it's a Dead Nettle. A map of a location that you can travel to is a device that I like, that they use very infrequently, and I feel that they should use more. You run into it with some of the big fish games.
Hello.
This is very people-centric.
Consarn it! Don't sneak up on people like that. You frightened the dying daylights out of me.
Imagine
he looked
that
at me
they'll
like
add
he'd
more
seen a
objects.
ghost. Sorry, you seem a little jumpy?
I thought you were those pesky kids again.
Kids don't seem like a reason to be scared.
They're little terrors. I'm sure they're gonna give me a heart attack. Last week they showed up with a doctor's note they forged, saying a man I'd buried that day was just a very deep sleeper. 7 hours I was out here digging him up, at my age.
And was he sleeping?
Dead as a dodo, just like those kids will be if I get my hands on them.
Has the cemetery been here long? Really good attention to detail. Like I said, I imagine they'll flesh out objects a little bit more. It seems like they'll be for puzzles only, which is cool. I love using that as a backdrop. But using people as a backdrop is
Do you know
really
anything about the disappearance of Bellemore Manor?
Link in the description below.
To leave the dead to rest in peace.
Also down there is
What if they're not in
Gamer
peace?
Well, I think there's more to that story than meets the eye. You know the three brothers went missing, right?
Yeah, we actually just heard that from one of the
if you
MCs.
ask me, I think Abigail Bellemore was behind it.
Thinks Abigail was behind
she was
it?
engaged to a sailor, but nobody like her would go for a commoner.
She might have loved him.
She could have loved somebody with a big bank account, too. I think she must have been using him, pretending to love him so he'd do her dirty work for her, bumping off her brothers. Then afterwards, she drops him and goes to marry the officer of the company. Fiendish.
Those are some pretty serious allegations.
Yeah, there's got to be
Just a
something more
feeling,
going on
that's
there.
all. I don't
It's
have
pretty
any
simple.
evidence. But when you work with cadavers, you kinda get a sixth sense about things. People killed in mysterious circumstances. Like you can tell when someone's sneaking up behind you.
You actually seem to have trouble with that.
Wise guy.
So like I said, Gamer Grind, you can put your logo on merch for nothing bucks, or you can support what to play next. You just pop our name into the search bar on YouTube and it'll come up every time. We love it when you guys share this sort of thing, share our channel. We love that you're always along for the ride, so you can kind of get the look and feel of what they're doing with gaming. You have a menu of things that you can say, and that kind of leads you in a different direction. It's the first time I've seen that used correctly. So great job there. Really interesting gaming company. Thought I'd put it up here for you guys to explore. Also down there is coffee, KOFI. Buy this chick a coffee, $1 make me smile. And all my other social media links. So we love hearing from you. If you hit subscribe and comment, that's totally free. If you hit the bell, you'll get a notification. It'll just be a little thumbnail of what it is that we're looking into for the day. 6 days out of 7, it'll be something that's developing in gaming. So you can talk in the gaming community or chat with us. Or just see what's going on. If you're a lurker, that's fine. You're welcome. If you do want to drop us a note, we'd love hearing from you guys. You know, the 7th day we do a more story-driven approach, the traditional, where you guys just watch along as we do something cool, like explore Lara Croft's background origin story, do Torchlight or that sort of thing. So, like, subscribe, comment. We love you guys. We love that you're always along for the ride, and we'll see you in the next video.